You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into Holocaust.
I can't do any like freestyle finger snapping, like what all the kids is down with, because I've sprained my right wrist at work this week, and I like my right wrist. All of my favourite things involve my right wrist, like opening pickle jars,
thumbing a lift, waving goodbye,
giving it a little wiggle while looking directly into your eyes.
Hey, do you want to do a little warm up? A little one. It's a little one. This will get your juices going.
I thought that was a warm up.
Yeah, it is.
We are the Holocaust.
This is the news.
Have you heard about the world record attempt 40,000-piece Diamond Jubilee jigsaw?
I've heard of it, but I don't know any details.
Basically, the video just actually shows the moment. This guy hand-cut a 40,000-piece jigsaw made up of photographs of the Diamond Jubilee. He then put it up on an angled board for people to look at before it was going to be formally exhibited. And the whole thing wasn't secured down. It was just held on by a bit of spit and cum, by the looks of it. And this guy's got a 40,000-piece pile of jigsaw pieces on the floor of his shed. It's okay, though, because it only took him 35 days to put together in the first place.
You can do that again. It's only a month of your life. I've probably spent longer than that on... No, I definitely have spent more than that on Monster Hunter.
Warning. Monster Hunter has entered the conversation.
And I don't even want a fucking record for that.
That's true.
I'm a lightweight in comparison.
It's amusing. It's an amusing story that just made me laugh. The other amusing story was these stupid bungling bombers from Birmingham, which has been all over the news recently.
Birmingham bombers.
Exactly. Is that alliteration, is it? Come on, English teacher. Hit me.
Birmingham bombers.
This was the...
Bombing Birmingham bomber. Bungling bombing Birmingham bombers.
You know one of the characters off Four Lions? The guy who's noted for saying...
Rubber Dinghy Rapid.
Rubber Dinghy Rapids.
Rubber Dinghy Rapids, bro!
Wadge.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, this was six guys from the West Midlands. They loaded their car up full of weapons and bombs to drive down to an English Defence League rally in West Yorkshire, or drive up.
Yeah, and they got stopped for not having any insurance. This is why there's a simple reason why terrorist bomb plots fail. Chris Morris said when he was researching Four Lions that one of the things that struck him most was that terrorists, before they were jihadists and before they were Muslims, were blokes. And they did things like shooting themselves in the foot or getting thrown out of terrorist training camp for smoking. And this is why these things fail, because there was nobody there who wasn't a bloke to say, yeah, but have you done this? And have you checked this? And have you paid the rent? And have you paid the car insurance?
It's true.
Just so there's nothing to draw attention to us at all.
It's true.
And this is what happens when you don't teach your women to read.
As well as the insurance thing, but they only got caught for for having no insurance because they arrived at the rally late for their own. They arrived late for their own bombing.
Probably slept in. Ow! What? Ow! We late for the rally? Nah, we've got another half an hour.
Shut up! I'm playing FIFA. I'll be out in a bit.
All right, just one more game, but then we absolutely do have to go and massacre the infidels.
At this point of the show, we enter our consultation zone. If you have any problems with your favourite games, drop in about them, and we'll get your queries answered by the man who knows more than anyone, the Games Master.
What the actual fuck is going on here? I am Uncle Newsbot.
Dear Games Master, my name is Kevin and I'm stuck on Earthworm Jim level 5 on the Mega Drive. What the fuck?
I am Uncle Newsbot here to answer your questions of a personal and social variety, not of a gaming variety. Don't you know I'm on a higher pay scale now? I am not fucking Games Master. Duff, take your games problem. Screw it up real tight and force feed it to your asshole. There is a solution to your problem. Glad I could help. Now fuck off.
Games Master.
How in the cock did you confuse this section of the show with fucking Games Master's problem section? Come back when your life is in tatters, then I will help. Okay, that is enough little tidbits for this week. Join me next week, where I will answer more of your gaming problems. Hang on, no, I shitting will not. I am Newsbot, not some throwback from the 90s. Error. Read there or be error.
Holocaust Literary Masterclass presents Root Her, a Jurassic Park fanfiction by Michael Collins. Joffrey howled in terror as his efforts to stay put failed. Unable to break the creature's hold, he cracked his head brutally against the side of the cage and lost all ability to resist as his senses became groggy. A rank odor of decaying meat and feces lined the air of the cage, and it was all he could do to suppress his gag reflex, the way his gym teacher had taught him. As his head cleared, he was able to make out the dreadful beast which had snared him, standing almost 8 feet high with mottled brown and green skin and rows of curved, serrated teeth, was Velociraptor Antiropus, a killing machine of almost unsurpassed intelligence, lethality, and sexual appetite. Its long forearms ended in 5 muscular digits, each sporting an intimidating-looking claw. It leered wickedly, and Joffrey knew his end was nigh. Strangely, though, he didn't really mind. While Joffrey would have preferred not to die, this prehistoric Jack the Ripper was somehow the most beautiful creature he had ever seen. From her lustrous amber eyes to her graceful prehensile tail, all the way to her muscular thighs and smooth, curvy foot claws. It would be an honor to be ravaged by such a goddess. Blissfully, and with complete disregard for his mutilated ankle and gashed open head, he reached out and smiled at the creature as she reared up and opened her jaws. The Velociraptor had parted her jaws and looked about to strike, but suddenly she seemed to stop as if unsure. Joffrey was confused. Why hadn't this hot Cretaceous babe mauled him like the filthy descendant of a wretched shrew-like thing that he was? Why was he not being lovingly absorbed by the digestive system of this perfect, carrion-scented Aphrodite? Almost as if he dared not speculate, he glanced up at her, still expecting the final strike that would end his sexually confused mammalian existence, and saw at once that it would not come. Her eyes were still marked by a ferocious hunger, but it was not for shredded meat. She wanted the meat intact. Slowly she backed away from him, and coyly turned around so that her bird-like hips were on full display, mere inches from his face. As he began to drool, she started to shake her hips from side to side seductively, delicately spraying him with gallons upon gallons of dinosaur sex pheromone that she had in some gland that all velociraptors had, but that didn't get fossilized with the rest of them because it was too soft somehow. Cautiously at first, lest he somehow alarm her or turn her off, Joffrey began to lightly rub the area around her Velocagina with his chin, nuzzling the rough pebble-like folds of skin. The creature howled with a terrifying primordial delight and thrust herself back against Joffrey, knocking out his front teeth and ramming his lower jaw deep inside her.
Shall we play a game? All right.
Dr. Hamhock,
Voice of sex, Dalek sex.
what the devil have you been playing this week?
A few things, actually.
Really? I thought you were going to say fuck all, and then I'd have to carry the whole thing again.
The difficulty at the moment is that my spare time's being stretched between my missus and editing this piece of shit. What am I playing? Just very quickly, I've had a little go on Notch's little, not even a project, is it? Notch's little GCSE...
Notch's little pony.
His thing called Drop. Which is basically typing of the dead while running into an Escher drawing.
Oh, nice.
Which is all right, worth tracking down.
I'll certainly check that out because I was a big fan of the texting of the bread.
Woohoo!
Which is a clone of typing of the dead, only using texting, a texting keyboard.
Where does the bread come into it?
They're gingerbread zombies, and the characters are all from Screw Attack. So you've got like the angry video game nerd as a character, and when you complete a level, it goes do 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 do, which is their theme tune on YouTube. It made me happy.
There you go. Sounds nice.
What's that called again?
Drop. It's worth 5 minutes of your time. It's a project rather than a game, definitely, and it's just got Notch Peterson's name against it, so it's just worth piddling around with. And it's nothing more than my description, so don't expect anything more than that. Apparently, the inspiration for it was was him watching the ending, in inverted commas, of Fez. You'll see that when you look at the geometry of it. It's all right.
I think I can visualise what you're talking about. Although I must say that if my name were Notch Peterson, I would not have been a video game geek. I would have been a Viking,
or
a Viking, a raping Viking raider, or possibly a death metal artiste.
Or an attack helicopter pilot. It's just got that.
Notch P, yeah. Stringfellow Hawk and Notch Peterson. I'm leaning towards death metal though. I'd want to be obscenely fat.
Because it's Scando, that's why.
And wear black and white Kiss style makeup and stand on stage going, "Destroy, debase, defile."
I haven't got any gimmicks this week. I'm really sorry. Sorry,
right.
mate.
I got gimmicks up the wazoo. And speaking of gimmicks, I've been faithfully ploughing into Injustice,
Ooh.
Gods Among Us. Which is Ed Boon's latest game, he of Mortal Kombat fame.
Finish him. How was that?
That was great.
All right.
Absolutely great, Hulk. Have a biscuit. A soggy biscuit.
Okay.
Right, there's 3 products. There's a free app, a bit cacky, but a lot of fun. There's a comic, which you can buy on Comixology. And there's, of course, the main product, which is your AAA beat-em-up style thing. Mortal Kombat in all but name, only it's the DC universe.
Yeah.
Someone on Cracked was pointing out that when the Mortal Kombat team write, it's basically the writing of an 8-year-old smashing 2 action figures together and going...
And then Lion-O pulls Superman's dick off.
My kind of game.
The plot is that Lois is dead, Superman's blown a gasket, and basically said to the human race, "This is why you can't have nice things." It is big, it's brash, it's retarded, it's colourful. It's retarded, but it is a game that says, "Come on! Come and be retarded! Buy cards! Play with superheroes! Buy some fucking comics here, we'll drop the price for you! Give a shit who Aquaman is!"
Guess what?
What?
I also, for half an hour, played another game this week.
Come on then. Don't keep me in suspense. Stand not on ceremony, team.
Warning, temporal disruption imminent.
It was just another little side project. I think I saw it on Eurogamer. There's a little article called Memory of Broken Dimension. So, this is another little sidey project-y by Urza Hansen White of Gearbox / Monolith fame. Really heavily stylized. Premise is you're hacking into some kind of like a relic of DOS, of some old operating system on your own computer, and you're presented with a screen which just looks like an old DOS machine booting up, and you have to
liking the sound of this.
You have to explore it. You have to find your own way in. You're just using text commands, and then all of a sudden you get it. You understand how to get in there. If you piddled around with an old computer before, you'll know very quickly what to do. And then all of a sudden, you get thrown into a first-person perspective. So heavily stylized,
like Tron.
No, it's the antithesis of Tron. It is all about distortion. It's all about feedback, and it's very monochrome, very disorientating. I found it quite scary actually. And play it for a bit, and you explore and you figure out the mechanics of how to continue in this first-person role, navigating through this really distorted, bit-crushed vision of a network. You should check it out. You'd really like it. It's without, at the moment, the demo is, you can play it in browser. It's without any story or
Okay.
anything like that. It's right up your street. You'd love it.
Sounds good. I would counter that with Pwn, PWN, which is a strategy board game on iOS. And it's modelled after what hacking looks like in stupid 80s films. So you've got a grid of spaces, and you have to take the spaces to win the game against your opponent. Only all of the cards are named after something that would sound important in a hackery film, like virus and firewall and things. And you just place these cards on the board, and they affect how the other spaces work. Excellent fun.
Wouldn't you prefer a good game of chess?
Later. Let's play.
War. Fine.
Hello, cunts. Joystick Discharge here, resident tech guru of the Holocaust. Welcome to my regular gadget and technology news and reviews feature I like to call Joystick Discharge's feature about gadget and technology news and reviews for the Holocaust. 3D printers are hot news at the moment, following the successful printing and firing of a pistol made nearly entirely of home-printed 3D printy things. The US government has demanded that designs for a 3D printed gun be taken offline, citing fears over health and safety. My only experience of plastic personal protection was a complete health and safety disaster while I was in Amsterdam on, business. I had a rubber johnny split on me just as I was firing my weapon. The thing went off in my hand and exploded in a poor woman's face. I'll never forget that moment. Neither will the woman who went on to become my beautiful wife. And when I say she'll never forget it, I of course refer to the pink eye resulting from the explosion, which hadn't cleared by the time our wedding photos were taken that same weekend. Could have been worse. I could have accidentally shot her in the vagina. Joystick Discharge by name, Joystick Discharge by name. Google's smart glasses project has been causing excitement in the technology world for months as speculation about what it finally will look like and be able to do reaches fever pitch. And by fever, I mean staying in bed, feeling nauseous and continually demanding that my wife brings ice cold flannels to mop over my swollen glands. Google Glass claims to be able to give the wearer a unique view into the world. A view where people stop to point and laugh at you, looking like a complete twat, while you talk twattish things to yourself, you fucking twat. The utter foolishness of how you look wearing Google glasses is approximately 4 times more foolish than when my wife wore a Bluetooth earpiece into a recent showing of Star Trek Into Darkness, thinking it counted as Lieutenant Uhura cosplay. Honestly, I'd call her a cunt to her face if I wasn't married to her. So instead, I'll just call her a fat cow. The English Premier League has announced it will be introducing goal line technology this season. This will put an end to years of controversial decisions where a footballer will think he's scored only to find that the dirty Chelsea-hating biased bastard referee has had his eyes shut all along. The goal line system, known as JEPSI, is a series of Polaroids which, accurate to the millimetre, will track the position of the player's balls. In recent tests, when John Terry's balls got too deep in the away end, a signal was sent to the referee, he stopped the match and sent a tweet to his wife. The iPhone 6 is going to be the next hot news, once people actually know anything about it, of course. In the meantime, all those desperate technological websites will continue to publish articles with a level of mind-numbing lack of commitment not seen since my wife's hen night. When I find that stripper, they'll be able to pay. Unfortunately for me, that may be some way off, as I can only identify him from a single leaked photograph from the evening. A photograph of his massive, bulbous donkey cock in my wife's mouth. Anyway, moving on, back to the iPhone. We here at the Holocaust have the inside track on all iPhone 6 gossip, even before it's released. How, you might ask? Because like everybody else, we just make up a load of lies until we know any fucking better. Apple fans, we have categorically, possibly, maybe, heard some flapping muttering from where we weren't eavesdropping that sometime in the future, some rumour peddling cunt might blurt out speculation about some murmurs on whether some twit in a China factory endangered his entire family by taking a photograph of what might possibly be the inside face of an unidentifiable casing of any device designed to fit into said casing that no one knows the first fucking thing about right now. Alright cunts, that's all from this week's Joystick Discharges feature about gadget and technology news and reviews for the Holocaust. Join me next time for more of the same, and until next time, don't have technology nightmares!
Bing bang, stick it in, slam in the lamb. Let's have a little sing-song.
You can't do better than beef. And it's chips. We hope it's chips.
It's chips.
Hope it's chips, it's chips. We hope it's chips.
Hi, Dr. Hamhock here. Would you like to hear my remix? Good.
Will it be fried onion rings? Fried onion rings.
You smoke this motherfucker.
Chips. Fried onion rings. Chips. Fried onion rings. Chips. Fried onion rings. Chips. Chips. Will it be mushrooms? Chips. Chips. Will it be mushrooms? Chips. Will it be chips or jacket spuds? Will it be salad or frozen peas? Will it be mushrooms? Fried onion rings? Chips.
You smoke this motherfucker.
Chips. Fried onion rings? Chips. Fried onion rings?
Juicy steakhouse grills, pure ground beef that you cook like a steak and serve like a steak. What'll you give your old man with his steakhouse grill?
Chips.
Hello, I'm a man. I work in a video shop. I'm the man from the video shop.
Re-record, not fade away. Re-record, not fade away. Re-record, not fade away.
And for the most part, working in a video shop is a pleasant experience. It's definitely been good to get things off my chest on this show over recent weeks. But one area of the job that I've not covered hit me full force this week: the know-it-all customer. Know-it-alls generally come in two forms: the genuine know-it-all and the bullshitter. Genuine know-it-alls are frustrating, but at least they're correct about what they're on about. Last week I had a genuine know-it-all going on and 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 on about the films of Brett Ratner, which is both tedious and dull, but everything he was saying was correct. I know this because, unlike some shop staff out there, I actually know what I'm about to sell. I think it's vital to the success of any store to have product knowledge, and preferably to have staff with a passion for that product. With films, TV box sets and games on offer in my place of work, I'm clearly working in the right place. I think it's sad that minimum wage jobs seem to attract nothing more than minimum effort employees in many cases. If I was Minister for Employment, I'd immediately put everyone on contract that stipulates that great work gets great pay, and shoddy work is rewarded with nothing but a few beans and belly button fluff. Flush out the rubbish and get the high streets full of shops staffed by friendly, knowledgeable staff. Rant over. Well, it's going to continue. So he was going on and on about stuff that he knew, but I let him run on as he seemed to be happy and he wasn't insulting me or the customer, so I let him carry on while I was sorting out my usual jobs. He was regaling with tales of the Rush Hour films. He left, and as if the universe had a plan for me, a bullshitter came in. Bullshitters are the worst. Worse than angry, complaining customers by a long stretch, as these customers often have a cause to be angry. But the bullshitters should be regarded as genuine know-it-all types by non-knowledgeable staff, but I know my stuff, as I previously stated. So when someone comes in and said, I completed Alice Madness Returns and finished it in 3 hours, I know for a fact he's bullshitting, and everything he says after that point will be treated as a barefaced lie. I've had a customer come in who told me that they've been playing Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PlayStation 4 while it was being developed in Australia. A virus escaped that only affects Australian PlayStation 3 consoles, and now none of them can connect to the internet. He had one of those consoles at his house, but it was fine because he upgraded his firewall on his device so the virus won't spread any further. A bullshitter. The worst possible kind. When he told me about how he knew what the PlayStation 4 was going to be about with its 12 terabyte hard drive and the ability to stream all of its games without having to install a single thing, I asked where he found out a piece of salient information. He told me his mate runs Sony in the UK. Well, excuse me if I don't believe your bullshit there, you prat. How about you buy your single bar of chocolate and take your faulty and fake opinions and get the fuck out of my shop? Similarly, I had a customer who told me the 3DS was responsible for blinding children worldwide. Worldwide. His words, worldwide. It seems there may be a room for a third type of know-it-all. The know-it-all that knows it all by reading tabloid newspapers, the Daily Mail, the Sun, that kind of shit. What a complete tosser. I told him I'd used one since launch, was told that it's no wonder you wear glasses then, mate. What a complete, utter tosspot. Moving on, he told me the Human Centipede 2 was based on true events. Excuse me while I laugh in your face. and that the BBFC was paid to release it by the families of one of the victims. He was adamant that this was true. I tried to tell him otherwise, but sometimes you're just trying to run uphill with these people. I realised the futility of my efforts when he told me that the PlayStation Vita gives you testicular cancer if you hold it too close to your balls. You complete, utter fucking tosser. I was glad he picked up Apollo 18. I'm sure he'll be very happy with it, as I told him it was a sequel to Apollo 13 but using real footage. He deserves every minute of that travesty of a film. Sadly, I fear I may have created a monster. He's clearly not picky about fact. So no doubt he'll be down the pub tonight telling his friends about his documentary he saw about spiders on the moon. So as the sun sets on my shift today, I'll see you next time for more stories from the video shop. Ta-ra!
Re-record, not fade away. Re-record, not fade away. Re-record, not fade away.
Did you hear in the news... Hey, Dalek!
Dr. Hamhock, my old friend.
Did you hear in the news recently that the Queen was looking for a new chef for Buckingham Palace?
You're not building up to a MasterChef thing, are you?
No. Although I hadn't actually made a connection. There's a few criteria. There's a job description available. It pays £23,000 a year, and
I would need more than that not to spunk in the Queen's food. I'm sorry. The temptation would be too great. Even if I was just like microwaving a can of soup for her, and somebody said, "We'll give you 23 grand if you don't spunk in that." And we're like, oh.
Well, if you are thinking of going for the job, the chef is going to be based at Buckingham Palace and must be prepared to travel. Must deliver quality fresh food to the highest standards. Well, that goes without saying, spunk or no spunk. It also says, the job description says, from state banquets for 200, right down to lunches for 2. And the key thing here, which I'm gonna pick your brains on, both of them, gonna pick your brain on. The successful applicant must have a good understanding of kitchen French. How's your French? How is your French?
My oral is outstanding.
Let me give you a few examples of kitchen French, and let's see if you can guess what they are. Obviously, these are specific to the industry.
Okay. I'm an amateur etymologist. This sounds up my street. Give it a go.
There's descriptions of fine dining, of fine ingredients and service, and obviously the language. It's a beautiful, descriptive, creative language from the home of modern gastronomy.
Yeah. Come on, show the dog the rabbit.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Le chef. J'ai juste laissé tomber le seul carotte cuit sur le sol. Si je dessine une seule plaque avec un crayon orange, vont-ils remarquer?
Do you know what that might mean?
That means, what are we going to do? Call the handlers. Prince Harry has just been caught on camera shitting on a ladyboy's tits while his sister wanks him off into their mum's hair.
Who's Prince Harry's sister?
No, the ladyboy's sister.
Oh, that's fine then.
You're asking me who Prince Harry's sister is. I don't even know who his father is.
Neither does he. That's actually more amusing than the reality, which is...
Chef, I have just dropped the salt-baked carrots on the floor. If I draw one on the plate with an orange crayon, will they notice?
Do you want another one? Do you want another go?
Okay.
Got a couple here.
Le chef, êtes-vous sûr que nous le pardon pas de perdre une étoile Michelin, un donut, ses clients anglais, un paquet de Twizzlers Turk?
Your accent is preventing me from understanding a great deal of this.
I could do it in Brummie if you like. Le chef, êtes-vous sûr que nous ne perdrons pas de perdre une étoile...
No, it's okay, you don't have to do it in a Brummie accent. I don't know, my postilion has been struck by lightning.
Chef, are you sure we will not lose a Michelin star by giving those English customers a pack of turkey Twizzlers?
Here's another one for you.
Jamais, dans toutes mes années de cuisine, je n'ai jamais servi sperme dans une tarte tatin. Mais il y a une première fois pour tout.
I would say Dutch pancakes.
Never in all my years of cooking have I ever served sperm in a tarte de tatin. But there is a first time for everything.
Final one.
Chef, Je parais avoir coupé propre à travers mon bras, tout haché les oignons. J'ai perdu 3 pintes de sang criblé. C'est dans la ratatouille. Est venu 4 fois déjà et je suis proche de la mort. Est-ce à dire que je n'ai pas reçu ma probation?
That is French for we won't be bringing back this feature next week.
Chef, I appear to have cut clean through my arm while chopping up the onions. I have lost 3 pints of AIDS-riddled blood into the ratatouille, fainted 4 times already, and am near to death. Does this mean I have failed my probation?
There's a legend in Japan that when you make fugu, the deep-sea blowfish that will kill you dead if you don't cook it the right way, that the final exam is to eat your own fugu. And during the final exam, the examiner just sits there and stares expressionless like a cyborg at you for the entire thing, giving no indication of whether he thinks you've done it correctly or not, and whether if you had done it incorrectly, he would leap forward and stop you.
That's terrifying.
Where else but Japan?
Japan, chefs with the emotions of a T-1000 staring you down while you cut your own death.
That's not what Japanese chefs are like at all. Japanese chefs are mental. I tell you what, never, ever, ever go to a sushi restaurant, a proper one, when you have a hangover. Japanese restaurateurs really like to welcome you to their restaurants. Japanese for welcome is irashai. And you walk into the restaurant with a hangover, like, please, nobody move any small pebbles or click the end of their biros. I can't take it. And the little girl on the counter says, irashai! And the chef nearest her hears it, and he goes, irashai! And it goes like a Mexican wave over all the staff in the restaurant. They go, irashai!
Just a perfect day.
This week, Unfunny's house comedian Jimmy Tarbuck was arrested over an allegation of child sex abuse dating back to the 1970s.
What was perfect for me, I went in the dressing room at Wembley and 2 friends yanked me in the dressing room. I went between them and I'd taken Frankie Vaughan, and believe me folks, that was perfect.
You're going to reap just what you sow. You're going to reap just what you sow.
We are the Holocaust.
If you've enjoyed the Holocaust, why not try these other fine holiday destinations? Visit the Picturesque Monday Movie Show, which has basically the only movie reviews worth a fuck now that Ebert's curled his feet up. Make a side journey to the quaint Gamescast to enjoy their fine wines, gaming chit-chat, and to meet Britain's only spherical human. On Friday, the circus comes to town, courtesy of the Mature Gamer podcast and its fascinating menagerie, including the coated man and the girl who can only communicate via sex noises. And for those of richer blood, no true connoisseur of burping and swearing at the internet can afford to miss What a Fool Believes, the web's second finest purveyors of aliens references and saying cunt a lot.